You said it. Let me make sure I record it. Right. But let's get it, man. Alpha investing, 2x. You already know how we do. Alpha investing is the objective is for me to give you guys an edge in the market every single week. So we are having our own hedge fund investing call. That's what we want to do. Right. It's more power in all of us if we come together and we can create something special always. It's easier to do things as a group instead of doing things individually. So I want to help you guys and help lead the way to help everybody become a better investor, help everybody create more wealth, help everybody just be better in all aspects of life. Let's get it. First things first, up or down, let me know in the chat. We do the same thing every time. Look at the time. I want you guys to look at the time frame at the bottom of the screen and then tell me, is the stock going up, down? You can say sideways, but is it going up, down, or sideways? Let me know. All right, so I see up or sideways, sideways. And if you don't know, that's fine. Let me know. Just put, I don't know. If you don't know, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with not knowing. If you knew, it's perfectly fine. You may have never seen a chart before. Right? I like what I'm seeing in the chat though. Since 2021, the stock has been going up, right? Or this is actually the 10-year yield. This is the 10-year yield. So since 2021, it has been going up, right? Since let's say 2023, we kind of been going sideways, right? We've been in the range of market. This is imperative for us to understand. As soon as we start looking at a chart, we have to know the general direction of what it is doing, up, down, or sideways. The market can only move in three ways: up, down, or to the side. Next one, is it up, down, or sideways? Let me know. And don't forget to look at the bottom. The time frame is going to help you understand looking at the bottom. Uptrend, downtrend, are we moving sideways? What are we doing? Up. And then if you don't know, just put I don't know. Up. I see three ups. I like what I'm seeing. Right. So since 2020, like mid 2022, so probably June or May, the stock has been trending up. Now, if you pay attention and you look from 2020, right, the middle of 2020 going all the way to mid 2022, right, the stock was in a downtrend. It was going down. So as we look at a chart, and we just pay attention, we look at the whole thing, right? Going all the way back to 2020 to now. This is 5 years of data. This is 5 years of the chart that we are looking at. We now can start figuring out and seeing the bigger picture. So I want you guys, yes, know if it's going up, down, or sideways. That's the first step. But then we have to go back in history and look in time and look at the chart over a 5-year period and say, okay, within this period, were we in the uptrend or downtrend, or are we going sideways? Right? That is definitely going to be able to help you guys to start seeing the market in a better way and understanding it in a better way when you're starting to look at a chart. And last one, up, down, or sideways. Up. Come on, help me help you guys. If you don't, give me some feedback. If I can't help you, if you guys don't know. Yep, I know it's no time frame at the bottom, right? But without the time frame now, is it up, down, or sideways? Let me know. Up. Right? It's up. Yep, breakout on horizontal line, sideways slash up, 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 up. Good, good. Now we get into it. Now we get it, right? So I can already tell just from looking at the chart for a long period of time, right? This is probably over the span of 5 years. So the first year, we were going up. The 2 years after that, we were going down, right? And then now, fourth year, going to the fifth year, we're going up. I can tell and I can see that just from looking at the chart itself without needing anything at the bottom. Eventually, that's where I want you guys to get to, right? So there's a reason why the first two, I gave you guys the line at the bottom. I gave you guys the dates. We should still be able to tell without the dates if the stock is going up or down or sideways. First things first, I want to talk about mindset, right? I know a lot of times I come on here and I give you guys a lot of information, I give you guys a lot of game, right? We're gonna get into it. But I need you guys to understand understanding the market is hard. Trust me, it is hard. It's not easy. It takes a lot of work. Look at it as 5 years of pain for 50 years of freedom. So when I first started looking at the market, when I was 16, 17 years old, and I was in high school, and I was walking around with an iPad and nobody knew what I was doing, and everybody was calling me an iPad kid, right? It takes that dedication and that work and that obsession for you to truly get what you want out of life. And you have to pick something. For some of you are doing other things, right? Some of you are doing drop shipping. Some of you are doing real estate, right? Some of you are doing other things. Perfectly fine. But as we know, just like in school or just like with anything else, you have to put that time in and that dedication to actually be good at it. To actually be good at it, you have to have an obsession. You have to have consistency. You have to put the work in. You have to know it in and out. I know the market in and out like it's the back of my hand. I want you guys to know it too, right? But it takes years and then it happens all at once. So I've been reading these books, right? And I've been looking at the market for the last 3-4 years. And I've been putting in the work and I've been looking at the chart, buying courses, reading books, buying ebooks, right? It takes years and it takes preparation and works and hours and hours and hours every single day, right? But if you truly want to be wealthy like you say you want to, or you truly want to have an impact on the world like you say you want to, or an impact on your family or everybody around you like you say you want to. And I struggle with this too. A lot of us, we're trying to convince other people around us that something is working when they're just going to see it from you actually doing it, right? Sometimes the best thing for you to do is to focus on yourself, get to your goal, and get you where you need to be so everybody else can see you and start gravitating towards you. Because at the end of the day, right, we have to reset, restart, and refocus at the end of the day, right? We have to go to sleep, reset, restart, refocus every single day. We all have the same 24 hours, right? We're using them differently than probably 90% of the world. A lot of people are not investing. So I encourage all of you, everyone paying attention, sacrifice 5 years of pain for 50 years of freedom. We are in a bull market. I need you guys to understand this. Please, everybody put it in the chat. We are in a bull market. Everybody. I want to see, we got what, 31 on this call. I want to see 31 replies. We are in a bull market. In the chat. We are in a bull market. Bull market, bull market, bull market, bull market. Everybody in the chat, put it in the chat. We are in a bull market, right? We are in a bull market. The bulls are here, right? I'm sure all of us are bulls, right? I came into the market in 2022, so I got a little bit of bias going to the downside. But I'm a bull. I'm still a bull. I want the market to go up. Bull market, bull market, bull market. I need you guys to drill that in your head. We are going to be fine. The market is not going to crash this year. We're going to have a correction, yes. The market is going to come down and pull back, yes. But we are in a bull market. The bull market lasts 4.25 years. So that's 4 years and a quarter. We are in the second, we're going into the third year. So we will have 2 more years of a bull market before the market comes down drastically. And we just had GDP growth in America. I need you guys to understand GDP is basically saying, okay, I have a business, right? America is a business. Am I actually being productive with my business? That's what this means, right? Mexico has GDP. Argentina has GDP. China has GDP, right? All of these countries have GDP. This is the closest thing that you can get as far as when it comes to analyzing a company financially. GDP is the closest thing that you can get to analyzing a country. So if you look in 2022, we had -1% GDP. Hence, we had a recession, right? And then I'm sure if we go to 2020, right, if this post on CNBC, if this post was a little bit farther back in time, I promise you 2020, you would have saw a decline as well. So these are things that we have to pay attention to when we're looking at the outlook of our country and the outlook of the stock market as well, because a lot of times they are correlated. And then first year of a president's term has been strong, right? Over the last 10 years, we've only been down once in the past 10 years. I'm data driven. I like looking at history. I'm willing to take a bet and a chance that we are going to have an amazing year this year rather than having a bad year this year, based on history telling me that the last 10 times of the first year when the president comes into office, we've had a great year. So we are in a bull market and we will be fine. Let's talk about it though, right? Let's talk about it. Quantum stocks. I told y'all on last Sunday's call, I told y'all, right, that these stocks were going to come down. Reason being, you have to go and do the work and you have to understand these companies financially. You have to. A lot of these companies and stocks were trading off of hype. Somebody, okay, in the chat, somebody tell me how RGTI and QUBT and IonQ, tell me exactly what they have that's going to change the world. Somebody in the chat, somebody tell me exactly what they have right now in this moment that they can go back to their office and say, we are going to change the world right now. Nothing, right? Nothing at all. So yes, the stock can go up, and it went up a lot, right? It went up 500% in the last 30 days, right? But guess what? Anything that goes up that fast is going to come down even harder. The market, when the market falls, it falls faster than it goes up. Why do you think every time when you open your account, or why do you think everybody really starts panicking when the market is falling? It's not the fact that it's falling, it's the rate of the speed that which it is falling. Now you're looking like, okay, it took me 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years for me to have these type of gains in my account, and then all of a sudden in 3 months, 2 months, 1 month, you just see the market just falling, accelerating fast, right? That's why everybody gets scared when the market comes down. You have to understand yourself and you have to have psychology and always stay stoned in your principles. If me, right, I saw the stocks running up, I missed it, right? If I would have got outside of my rules and I would have got emotional and I would just be like, okay, let me hurry up and do a call, let me hurry up and try to get in and buy, right? This is what I would have gotten. So you have to stay within your principles. So going back to when I tell you guys, I have my system, it works, I'm not changing it, right? Once you find something that works for you, all of us individually, we're all different, right? Some of you are 20, like me. Some of you are 30, some of you are 40, some of you are 50, some of you are 60, maybe, right? I don't know if we got anybody else on here that's 70, but if you are, I applaud you. Right, but all of us are in different phases of life. My portfolio is not going to look like somebody's portfolio who's 50. I have time to invest in stocks like RGTI if I wanted to, right? Or crypto, right? It's very, very volatile. I have the time, right? Once you find something that works for you, I need you to stick to it. But I told you guys that these stocks were going to have a drastic fall. Reason being, you have to understand why a certain stock is actually going up. So a stock doesn't have to go up because of its financials. This is evident here. If we look at their financials and we look at profit margin, okay, I want you guys to understand something. If a company is not profitable, they need to at least be growing and becoming profitable. CrowdStrike is a prime example. For homework, for all of you guys, I want you to write down the company CrowdStrike, and I want you to go research over the last 5 years their profit margin and how, and you're going to be able to see how their profit margin went from negative to slowly being positive over a 5-year span and a 5-year period. So when you guys are investing and you're looking at companies like this, you have to pay attention to revenue and profit margin. Those are the two things that are literally going to tell you, okay, is this stock going to do well in the future? Hence Palantir. That's why Palantir is running off like it's been running off, right? With this profit margin, okay, negative 7,000%. Negative 471, negative 466. Then it went back up, negative 554. Then it went up again, negative 625. They're not even getting closer to profitability. So when that hype comes down, the stock is going to have an even more dramatic fall. Like you can't tell me, nobody can explain to me why this company went up 500% and Nvidia didn't go up 500%, because this company is literally like a spinoff of Nvidia and what they're trying to do. But timing is everything. Michael Berry had one of his greatest trades because of his timing. It didn't matter that he got it right. It was the timing, because when he did that credit default swap and he betted on the real estate market coming down, right? There were a bunch of other people who had the same bets as he did, right? They took similar positions. He wasn't the only one who had that position, right? Let's start there. So we have to go make sure we're actually doing the research and watching the movies and reading the books, right? But Michael Burry, he was the one person that actually got the timing right. He was losing money for a long time, a while, right? But the people around him, they had enough trust and belief in him for the time being, and they allowed his trade to actually go in his favor, right? So I want you guys to understand, I don't care what you guys trade, but when it comes to these companies that run up and down and fast like this, I call them meme stocks, just like meme coins, right? You have to make sure you're getting the timing right. I don't care that you trade them. Make sure you have the timing right. And you can get that from charting and looking at technicals. Consistency and obsession. Going back to what I said in the beginning, I want you guys to be, you don't have to be obsessed, right? I am obsessed with the market. I am obsessed. The reason I love the market and the reason I know for sure that I will always love the market is because it's always changing. There's always something for you to learn. I'm addicted to learning, right? I'm addicted to evolving as a person in all areas of life. That's why I'm attracted and why I gravitate to the market, because there's always something new coming out, right? Now you got to learn how to block out the noise, right? But there's always something new coming out. We just had a CES event. I'm more bullish than ever on Nvidia, Tesla, CrowdStrike, all those companies, right? Keep buying the chip companies, please. Cybersecurity, please. Tesla, please. Just don't stop buying the companies, right? But I love the market because it's forever changing. It's always going to evolve and adapt and do better. I want you guys to truly understand, as soon as you put your money into someone, whether it's me, whether it's Trap, whoever it is, right? You are literally tying your money to the consistency and the evolution of that person. That's what you're doing. So let's look at Tesla and why Tesla is running up. Tesla is not going up because they're doing more car sales. That's not why. Tesla is going up because people truly believe in Elon Musk. Why do I believe in Elon Musk? He is obsessed and he's consistent. This man he has 5 different companies. And he's consistent and he's obsessed with bringing new technology to us as people, right? So when it comes to you, whatever you do, for you to truly be great, I promise you, for you to truly be great, because I could give you all the information, I can give you everything that I use, right? You still won't be able to win or beat me because you won't be as consistent or obsessed. But we're not competition, we're collaborating, right? That's why I do this. We're not competition, we're collaborating. But you have to be consistent and you have to be obsessed to get what you want. That's in every phase of life, no matter what you want, no matter if it's relationship, marriage, work, hobby, whatever it is, you have to be consistent and you have to be obsessed with it to go far. Far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or trying to anticipate corrections than has been lost in corrections themselves. Moral of the story, stay invested, right? End of story. Stay invested in the story. Whatever the market does, you have to deploy money and capital. I'm ready. I can't wait for 2026, right? When the market comes down, then you can deploy a lot of capital. Because I saw what happened in 2022, right? As soon as the market comes down, you're able to put a lot of capital into the market and grow your wealth exponentially. But a lot of people won't tell you, when you invest in the bear market, you're going to get extrapolated returns. You're going to get returns of 100, 200, 400%. So going back to when I told you guys my returns long-term on Amazon and Tesla, right? 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, I'm up over 100% on both of them from long-term investing. That comes from investing at amazing prices and investing. You have to buy into fear. I know it sucks. It's hard. You got to have guts to do it, but you have to buy into fear. Simple, like Warren Buffett says, right? Be fearful when everyone is greedy, and be greedy when everyone is fearful. I stuck to that principle, right? But the results that you want come with discipline. The results that you want come from discipline, right? So I can say, right, we can say that I'm going to put my money here and I'm going to put my money into the market here. When it does this, I'm going to do that, right? But you actually have to be disciplined and execute all the way down to the entry point. So there's a lot of, all of us have a lot of amazing ideas, right? There's a lot of people in the world who have amazing ideas and who have super amazing creativity, right? A lot of people could have went pro. A lot of people could have did this or that or this or that, right? It boils down to the discipline. A small percentage of people actually stay down and put the work in, which makes the difference between someone being great and someone being good. We all need to be great. Next, cut the loss when you're supposed to, right? And I made sure that this was the only thing that I put on this slide for a reason. Cut the loss when you're supposed to, right? I know I know it sucks. I know it's hard, right? Because you're just thinking like, okay, is it gonna turn around? Like, all right, it's down 20%, right? I'm down. All right. Okay, now I'm down 30%. All right, now I'm down 40%. Then it goes from 20 to 30 to 40 to 50, 60, 70, 80%, almost 100%, and now you've lost all of your money. When you could have took that small loss and took it on a chin, it took a 20% loss or 2% of your total capital, right? Jim, for all of you guys, I don't want you guys to lose more than 2% on any given trade, 2% of your entire capital. I know it's hard. I know if you have a small account, it's hard, right? Trust me, I've been there. I've been there, but you have to let the small wins add up. A lot of us, we need to have a shorter target, like 20% and 30% in an option, and we have to hit that consistently over and over and over again. And then we can start looking for bigger returns and bigger gains like 100, 200, maybe 1,000% over time, right? But please cut the loss where you're supposed to cut it, please. Master yourself. Going back to the last presentation, right? You can be anything you want to be. So I don't know if you guys play chess, right? I'm into playing chess. You can, once you get that pawn to the end of the board, you can choose to be any one of these pieces. You can be a queen. Only thing you can't be is a king, right? You can't have two kings on the board, right? But you can be a queen, you could be a rook, you could be a knight, you could be a bishop, right? You could be all of these different things. So that's going back to you individually. We're all special. We all have a bunch of capabilities inside of us, right? But you have to be able to master yourself and then pick a few things that you want to be great at and then have that consistency and keep doing it for a long period of time. And then here goes some Bible game for all of us, right? Look carefully then how you walk, not as unwise, but as wise, making the best use of time because the days of the devil, right? And this really hit home for me because, you know, I have a schedule, right? We wake up and we have our schedule. We do everything we do, right? We go to work, we come home, you cook, you clean, you look at the market, whatever you do, right? Whatever your schedule. The devil can't get to you if you fill your day up with productive things. He can't. You're not going to have time to even think about him at all. Or he's not going to have time to creep into your ear, or creep into your life, or creep into anything you do if you're truly dedicated and staying down and you're filling your time up throughout the entire day with positive things. And that's even with breaks, right? Because you have to build in breaks in your schedule. You're not a robot, right? We have humans, we have emotions, right? We're all human. But if you fill your day up with productive things and you get on that schedule and you stay on that schedule, it's going to be very, very hard for anyone to beat you in what you're doing, even the devil, right? Because at the end of the day, that is the biggest enemy that all of us have. It's creeping us, watching us every day. And it's either you sacrifice for a few years or you struggle for a lifetime. Sacrifice a few years or you're going to struggle for a lifetime. And I promise you, 2 years ago when I was telling everybody that the job market, and I was telling everybody, right? Jobs is not going to be like there used to be, right? If you study 2008, them jobs that went away in 2008, I'm sure a lot of you know, right? A lot of those jobs did not come back. It happens all the time. Why? Because of technology. When technology gets bigger and technology gets better, over time, you're just going to have things that are not needed anymore because the technology is just going to do it like clockwork. It's literally like a calculator, right? So going back in the day, you didn't really have a calculator, right? Or you didn't have the scientific calculator, you just had the regular calculator. Well, then the scientific calculator came out. Okay, well, now we don't need the regular calculator, right? And then you have evolution. Now you got ChatGPT. So what is the use of a calculator now if you got ChatGPT when it can do work on infinite numbers, and it can give you better access and better ideas and better things in other areas as well? I know you don't want to hear it, or I know you probably tired of hearing me say the same thing over and over again, but I promise you, world conflict resolution. So a lot of the questions that you guys are asking me, right? I promise you, it's somewhere in these five things. Somewhere, I promise. World conflict or resolution, politics, economics, earnings, and innovation. Why do you think Microsoft just sent 1 million to Trump's inauguration fund? Google just sent 1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. OpenAI just sent 1 million to Trump's inauguration fund. So I promise you, when I say world conflict resolution, politics, economics, earnings, and innovation, I promise you, those are the five things that you need to pay attention to. And I want to ask you guys a question. What companies will benefit from war if that is what America was built off of? So if America was built off of war and taking things from other people, right? What companies now are going to help America do the same thing that they've always done, right? It's almost like trying to change a person, and you let yourself down because you think you can change this person. No, you can't, right? You have to accept that person for who they are. America is going to be what America has been its entire existence, right? It was built off of taking and war, and that's what it was built off of, right? So I need you guys to understand America is going to continue to be America, right? And I need you to start looking for the companies that are going to benefit from war. Because if you pay attention to world conflict and that little issue we having with Mexico, right? And then you look next door behind our shoulder and we looking right at China, we definitely gonna have some type of conflict in the future. And I want you guys to be prepared because you can be invested in the companies that are actually going to benefit and rise while the rest of the market is going to be falling. Now let's prepare for the week ahead. Um, we got a jam-packed week. Monday, we have the monthly U.S. federal budget. Tuesday, we have producer price index, core PPI, and PPI year over year. We have consumer price index on Wednesday, core CPI, and core CPI year over year. We have initial jobless claims on Thursday, U.S. real retail sales, import price index, home builder confidence index, and then Friday we have housing starts, building permits, industrial production, and capacity utilization. And then earnings, we have a lot of bank earnings. We don't have any notable on Monday or Tuesday, but Wednesday we have JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Citi, Wells Fargo. Thursday, shout out to Bank of America and everybody there. Thursday, we got TSM, United Healthcare, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, and U.S. Bank. And then Friday, we have Fastenal and Truist Bank or Truist Financial. So we got a jam-packed week this week with a lot of bank earnings. Pay attention to TSM, one of the first chip companies that's going to report. They are definitely going to set the tone for everybody else. With them being a foundry, everything kind of goes through them. So definitely pay attention there on Thursday. And then this week is going to be heavily driven. I'm telling you guys now. I'm telling you guys right now before the week start. Please listen. Please listen. I'm telling you right now. Right. This week is going to be heavily driven by economic data and earnings from banks, right? TSM is going to be a main driver of how the total market moves, especially for that chip sector, right? PPI is going to be important. CPI, jobless claims, is going to be important as well, right? This is all the data that's giving us insight on the actual economy and how the actual economy itself is doing. Industrial production and housing starts, that will give you some insight on how real estate is doing and production as a whole is doing, right? So some of you guys are invested in companies like Lennar, maybe Caterpillar, Deere, Tractor Supply Company, right? Amazing company. That is what you guys want to start looking at if you want to really understand how the market is moving as a whole, because you need to pay attention on a global scale or macro scale first, and then trickle down and find the companies that are actually going to benefit. So definitely pay attention to economics this week. Your portfolio is going to fluctuate a lot. It's going to fluctuate a lot, right? Nobody panic sell, nobody gets scared, nobody make a decision that they don't need to make because it was just in the heat of the moment, right? Don't do that. Stay patient, stay calm. Your portfolio is going to fluctuate a lot this week. One thing you guys can do is just pay attention to the VIX. The VIX is a measure of volatility in the market. So I just want you guys to already know ahead of time that your portfolio is going to fluctuate a lot this week, and just be ready for that. And that's what I have for you guys this week. But now we can go ahead and get into some questions